will be discussing the court cases Marbury versus Madison. This case had an effect on the American government and made history. I sound freaking retarded.
Elected Thomas Jefferson in the 1803 on Sun, and is the U.S. capital was moved from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. The midnight judges appointed by a man named Adam. He was on his way out. It was William Marbury. When it was time, he appointed Mr. Marbury to his judgeship. James Madison, Thomas Jefferson's Secretary of State, refused to do so. A law announcing that the American courts had the power to invalidate laws that they find to violate the Constitution, because they meant the court had no judicial overtime case. It could not issue the right that Marbury had requested.
Right of mandamus compelling delivery of the commissions. In Marbury's case, the court did not order Madison to comply, so they started examining the law that Congress had passed that have the Supreme Court judiciary, you know what I mean, over tops of cases. Like Marbury's Marshall found that it had expanded the definition of the Supreme Court jurisdiction beyond what was originally set down in the U.S. Constitution.
In the Judicial Act of 1801, an unsuspicious number of new judgeships in the Orionic Act. Eagle Federalist, in an effort to preserve has functions the legislative agenda of Jefferson. He was a Republican. William Marbury had been appointed a justice of peace for the District of Columbia. In the final hours of the Adams administration, when James Madison, Thomas Jefferson's Secretary of State, refused to deliver Marbury's commission, Marbury, joined by three other similar situation pointless.
Mary versus Madison case took place in 1803. William Marbury applied directly to the Supreme Court of the United States. The Marbury versus Madison case established a judicial review the United States, meaning that American courts have the power to strike down laws that and some government actions that violate the Constitution of the United States. Decides in 1803, Marbury is still the single most important court decision in America.
The majority opinion of the Marbury versus Madison court case is John Marshall. He is considered one of the foundations of the U.S. Constitution law.
Expanded that a right of mandamus was the proper way to seek a remed, but concluded the court not issue it.
The Marbury versus Madison court case was John Adams. He named William Marbury as one of the 42 justices of peace on March 2nd, 1801. John Adams refused his appointment by Thomas Jefferson. Government actions that violated the Constitution of the United States. Followers launched a series of attacks against the Federalist-controlled courts. American courts have the power to strike down the United States.
Marbury versus Madison was a landmark legal case where the U.S. Supreme Court first declared on the Act of Congress as unconstitutional. It established the doctrine of judicial review, written by Chief Justice John Marshall on February 24, 1803. President John Adams had made many federal appointments before his term ended. Marbury and his lawyer, former Attorney General Charles Lee, argued that signing and sealing the delivery in any event constituted a more formality or not. Without the actual piece of parchment, Marbury could not enter into the duties of office. Despite Jefferson's hostility, the court agreed to hear the case Marbury versus Madison in its February 1803 term. The Chief Justice recognized the dilemma that the right of mandamus, Jefferson could not have simply ignored it because the court had no power to enforce it. If, on the other hand, the court refused to issue the right, it won't appear that the judicial branch of government had backed down before the executive and that the marshal would not allow the solution he chose has been termed in tour force in one stock or something.